Keeping in mind the formula slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, suppose we want to find the slope of the line passing between the points 2, 1 and 5, 6. I'll often write out a fraction and go ahead and put a minus sign in the middle of the top and a minus sign in the middle of the bottom. And then all I have to remember is that on the top, I'm going to take the second y value, which in this case is 6, minus the first y value, which in this case is 1. On the bottom, I'm going to take the second x value, which in this case is 5, minus the first x value, which in this case is 2. 6 minus 1 is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. We can't simplify that fraction, so here we would say the slope of the line passing between those points is 5/3. If you'd like to try the next problem on your own, pause the video now and resume when you're ready to see the solution. To find the slope of the line passing between the points 1, 5 and 6, 2, we'll begin by writing a fraction, subtracting on the top and subtracting on the bottom. On the top, we have our second y value, which is 2, minus our first y value, which is 5. On the bottom, we have our second x value, which is 6, minus our first x value, which is 1. On the top, 2 minus 5 is negative 3. On the bottom, 6 minus 1 is 5. So the slope of the line passing through those points is negative 3/5. It's important that you're careful with positive and negative signs as you're calculating slopes, especially when you have points where some of the coordinates are negative. So let's take a look at a problem where we're finding the slope of the line passing between the points negative 1, 4 and 3, negative 2. The setup is exactly the same as our other problems. We'll have a fraction with subtracting on top and subtracting on the bottom. On the top, we're going to take our second y value, which is negative 2, minus our first y value, which is 4. On the bottom, we're going to have our second x value, which is 3, minus our first x value, which is negative 1. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. 3 minus negative 1, that's like 3 plus 1, which is 4. Now in this case, we have a fraction that we can reduce. 6 and 4 are both divisible by 2. So our final reduced answer for this one, when we divide both of those by 2, would be negative 3/2 for the slope of the line passing between those points. If you'd like to try the next problem on your own, pause the video now and resume when you're ready to see the solution. So if we're trying to find the slope of the line through the points negative 2, negative 3, and 7, 3, we'll set up our fraction, subtracting on the top and the bottom. The second y value is 3. The first y value is negative 3. The second x value is 7. The first x value is negative 2. 3 minus negative 3 is like 3 plus 3, which is 6. 7 minus negative 2 is like 7 plus 2, which is 9. 6 over 9 is reducible because 6 and 9 are both divisible by 3. We divide them both by 3, and we end up with the slope of the line passing through those points being 2/3.